This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First off tonight, we have some breaking news to tell you about. Crews are responding to a reported crash on the Dexter Road in Garland right now.
The crash reportedly involves a car and a pedestrian at 199 Dexter Road in Garland. Details are few at this hour, but motorists should avoid the area if at all possible. Also tonight, an East Millinocket man is facing charges after allegedly leading police on a chase and threatening law enforcement. Police say 44-year-old Derek Soroy flipped his ATV and got into an altercation with a patron at a Central Street convenience store in Millinocket on Monday. When officers arrived, Soroy had already left. Soroy was later seen driving at a high rate of speed down Central Street and failed to stop for police. He allegedly tried to hide from them and resisted their attempts to arrest him. Police say Soroy allegedly threatened officers and purposefully urinated in the cruiser during transport. He is charged with operating under the influence, eluding an officer, operating after suspension, failure to submit to arrest, and other charges. Soroy also had an active warrant for his arrest from a previous charge.
A former Uber driver is facing charges after he allegedly raped a woman while driving her home. 28-year-old Joseph Graston of Milo was arrested this morning on charges of gross sexual assault and unlawful sexual contact. Bangor Police Detective Lieutenant Brent Bollier says a woman celebrating a life event at a Bangor area nightclub in June became intoxicated and called Uber for a ride. The next morning, she contacted the Bangor Police Department to report she believed she'd been sexually assaulted. Bollier says detectives began their investigation and Uber terminated Graston soon after the allegation was made. He's being held without bail pending his first court appearance.
Well, the Waldo County Grand Jury indicted 47-year-old Aaron Nickerson of Unity for allegedly causing a police standoff. According to the Waldo County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to a residence in Montville around 2:30 a.m. on August 9th for a reported domestic disturbance. Nickerson was placed under arrest 2 hours later after what authorities called a standoff. He's charged with kidnapping, 2 counts of domestic violence, terrorizing, possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, and other charges.
Action agencies across the state are helping Mainers prepare for winter. Our Devin Dagnall has more.
Our greatest fear is the consequences.
As Maine enters its fall season, it's time for many people throughout the state to start planning how they will heat their homes. For some Mainers, it may be a rough road ahead. The state of Maine is not only experiencing a higher cost than last year, but also a shortage of heating oil.
We are communicating with all of our partner agencies and the public at large, making sure they're aware of the assistance that may be available to them, fuel assistance, either through community action programs, and we ask anyone with needs to please make their needs known to their town offices by contacting 211 Maine.
Sankey worries that the elevated prices mixed with oil supply chain shortages could spell disaster for many at-risk Mainers. He says those in need should plan ahead, and if they need assistance, they should contact 211 sooner rather than later.
As we know, February is not the time to buy firewood, and difficult with fuel supplies being at risk. We want to make sure that people have their plans in place now.
According to Daniel Brennan, director of Maine Housing, for the same amount of money, Mainers can only get about half the fuel they have in past years. Brennan also says only a quarter of the individuals who qualify apply for fuel assistance, and he encourages households to apply even if they haven't needed assistance before.
We want to help everybody that needs it. We started a few months ago with some people have been in the program for a number of years, and so the ability to get them processed quickly is easier than someone who's brand new. But we're encouraging new people to apply all the time.
To learn more information about heating assistance, dial 211 or go to www.211maine.org. In Bangor, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Well, today, Senator Angus King, who serves as the chairman of the Senate Subcommittee on National Parks, heard testimony in favor of a bill he's co-sponsoring. It's a bill that would expand access to the Katahdin Woods and Waters Monument. The Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument Access Act would authorize the expansion of the monument by giving the National Park Service permission to acquire land from willing donors or sellers that better connects the monument to the Millinocket region and major roadways. King says the bill will contain language to protect logging and forestry-related activity, as well as maintain existing uses and access, like the ability of visitors to use snowmobiles and ATVs, hunt, fish, and forage for fiddleheads.
This new access will make it easier for visitors to enter the monument and will help towns like Millinocket and East Millinocket capture some of the economic opportunities from those visitors.
Emphasize that the bill expressly prohibits the use of eminent domain. Land will only be added to the monument if willing landowners sell or donate the land.
Well, Senator King joined Representative Mike Gallagher of Wisconsin to discuss the next steps in improving America's cybersecurity. 4 years ago, the Cybersecurity Solarium Commission, or CSC, was tasked with developing a strategy to defend U.S. national security and economic interests in cyberspace. Senator King reflected on the work CSC has done over the past few years and suggested a new project to combat the threats of cyber terrorism.
We need another theory or an adjunct to the theory of deterrence to deal with the threat of terrorists with nuclear weapons. I would suggest perhaps a Manhattan Project to figure out how to detect nuclear material from space or from a distance as our best defense, because deterrence won't work.
According to the release, the commission has put 80 official recommendations forward. More than 85% of those initial recommendations are fully or partially implemented or on track for implementation, including the creation of a national cyber director.
Alrighty, well, Bangor's Madison Higgins is being sent off to Miss Teen USA to represent the state of Maine.
And to honor the accomplishment, Seasons in Bangor is throwing a party before she heads off to Hollywood. Our Matthew Juronczyk is live at Seasons with more. Matt?
Thanks, Beth and Peter. As you can see behind me, I am at Seasons, where they are celebrating Martina Higgins going off to Hollywood for Miss Teen USA. And with me, I have Tammy Higgins and I have Casey Perry. Both of you, how are you doing this evening?
We're doing great. We're just thankful that all these people have shown up to wish Maddie well, Madison Higgins well, on the Miss Teen USA. She represents the state of Maine, and she's going to be on the national stage in Reno, Nevada this next week.
Yeah, and can you talk about what it means for her to go up and represent the state of Maine?
Well, she's just really pleased and proud to represent the state of Maine. It's something that she's got a platform of supporting first responders, and we're just really happy and pleased to shine a light on them and all the work they do, because they're unspoken heroes.
And Maddie is set to be going to Hollywood this Sunday. Beth, Peter, back to you at the desk.
All right, well, we wish her the best of luck.
Absolutely.
What an exciting thing to have coming your way.
Yeah, great opportunity, and really cool that she's representing the state of Maine, and a local to do that as well.
Well, we know she'll do a fantastic job, and in the meantime, let's take a look at the forecast and see what's coming our way, at least in the next few hours.
Thank you so much, Beth and Peter. And your first weather is brought to you by Scott's Recreation, locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. So a little bit cooler today. Those 70s, 80s, long gone. Only some 50s and 60s across the state today. 65 as a high earlier today in Bangor. Same thing by the coast, mid-60s at that. So a little bit on the cooler end today. I know fall is around the corner by tomorrow, but we are pretty much precipitation free at the moment. We do have some increase in clouds, and more rain chances will continue to move in from the west. So get ready for tonight into tomorrow morning, but we do also have some advisories out, some gale watches in effect until Saturday. That is because of a hurricane that's going to be offshore. I'll talk a little bit about that later on, and some small craft advisories in effect until 6 p.m. on Thursday overnight. Tonight, though, we'll continue to see temperatures near average and in the mid-50s. Beth and Peter?
All righty, Conrad, thanks so much. And coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, the long-awaited reopening of a waste plant in Hamden. We'll just have to wait a little longer. We'll tell you why.
And today marks World Alzheimer's Day. We'll tell you how officials are working to raise awareness. We'll have all those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
Offensive and divisive. That's Paul LePage's legacy. But it's not just what he said as governor. It's what he did. LePage slashed funding for cancer screenings for women. He refused to invest in clean energy, kicked over 1,000 seniors off their prescription drug program, and even opposed funding to Meals on Wheels. So, if that's what Paul LePage did last time he was governor, we can't send him back. The top funder of A Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
A Cadillac is more than a statement. It's a celebration of self-expression and a declaration of your independence. So choose to be bold and choose to be exactly who you are.
Get 2.99% APR for 60 months plus $500 purchase allowance on the 2022 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6.
Visit Port Cadillac in Bangor.
Does your plug-in fade too fast? Try Febreze Fade to Fi Plug. It has built-in technology to digitally control how much scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days. La 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 la.
Better skin from your body wash? Try Olay Body Wash with skincare super ingredient collagen. Olay Body Wash hydrates for healthier looking skin in just 14 days. From dry and dull to firm and radiant. With Olay Body, I feel fearless in my skin.
Hey, how are you?
I got your order back this way.
Thanks. How are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
Come on in, sit down.
We're your neighbor, your friend, your banker. Skowhegan Savings.
Do you have leaky pipes? Are you planning a plumbing job? Is your heating system working right? Are you designing a plumbing project? Then contact Harley's Plumbing and Heating Plus.
If your toilet will not flush, Harley will be there in a rush. Furnace bit the dust today. Harley crew is on the way. Harley Plumbing, Harley Heating. 990-2200.
Call now.
Harley!
Call or visit online.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Welcome back, everybody. The long-awaited reopening of a waste plant in Hamden will now be put on hold for a little longer. Our Matthew Juroncic explains.
The Hamden trash plant that was set to reopen this month will now need more time after its operators pulled out. It shut down in May of 2020 because of financing issues. CS Solutions and Kate Street Capital, the two driving forces working to restart the Hamden trash plant, have come out saying they need more time to work out arrangements. Citizens like Barry Noel are frustrated with the news.
Something's got to be done. I mean, you either got to start it up again with the money to keep it going, you know, to get rid of our trash problem and run another friendly, or you're going to have to mothball it and sell it.
In a statement from Municipal Review Committee Executive Director Michael Carroll, he says that they have been working with municipal trash collectors throughout the process and continue to do so while restarting the Hamden plant. CS Solutions was expected to work with committee and financial partner Revere Capital Investors in getting the waste plant back up. The committee acquired the property last month after there were no bids on it before signing a 60-day agreement with Revere Capital Investors to exclusively discuss the reopening of the facility. No agreement had been met when the period came to an end on Monday, and the committee is expected to extend it another month to craft a reopening statement and for Revere to formally acquire a majority stake of the plant. Winterport resident Dara Wagner says the waste plant is becoming more of a necessity.
I think a lot of towns, especially small towns, don't really have adequate facilities. Maybe can't even afford it for properly taking care of the trash. And I think anything that helps with that is really important for the state and for everybody.
Noel says the waiting needs to end.
There's well over 100 communities that are signed on this compact to do business with this company that's closed. Now we've got this monolith sitting out there on Colebrook Road. It's doing nothing, and it's upsetting the whole stream of trash.
Matthew Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Well, in other news tonight, today is World Alzheimer's Day. Officials say it's a time to raise awareness about dementia and Alzheimer's. It's also a time to advocate for more research and resources to improve patients' quality of life and maybe someday find a cure. Doctors say there are things that we can do now to help prevent it.
We can do things like exercise. Make sure you get enough sleep every night, 7 to 8 hours. Make sure you're eating healthy foods. There's a diet called the MIND diet, and it's shown to significantly reduce the likelihood that you will get Alzheimer's disease.
29,000 seniors in our state are currently diagnosed with Alzheimer's or other dementia-related disorders. It's the 6th leading cause of death in Maine. Northern Light Acadia Hospital is starting 2 new support groups, one for those caring for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. The other is for people diagnosed with it. You can get more information by calling them at 973-6048. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, how the Holden Police Department is auctioning off a signed Bruins jersey to benefit Maine veterans.
And in sports, Maine women's hockey has a new look this season, and they're gearing up for their season opener on Friday. That story right after the break.
Did you make that call?
Honey, we already have Medicare. Why do I need to call?
Alan, the Feldman said we may be able to get additional benefits with a Medicare Advantage plan right here in our zip code with $0 monthly premiums.
Honey, what do you mean additional benefits? We turned 65, we got Medicare. That's all there is to it, right?
I'm talking about Medicare Part C, commonly called Medicare Advantage. We have traditional Medicare, which is only Medicare Parts A and B, but not Part C.
Wait. So not everyone on Medicare is a Part C plan?
No, that's why we need to call, because there may be plans available with additional benefits that aren't covered under Medicare Parts A and B. We don't have a Medicare Part C plan which covers everything in Part A and Part B plus extra benefits in Medicare Part C.
What kind of extra benefits?
There are great plans that may be available with extra benefits like dental, vision, and hearing.
Did you say dental?
Yes, dental. Medicare Part C plans could include dental benefits that help cover routine dental exams and teeth cleanings, plus dental x-rays, fillings, gum disease treatment, and dentures.
We need that. I'm calling.
If you don't have a Medicare Part C plan, call now because there may be plans with additional benefits available that are simply not covered under Medicare Parts A and B, like routine dental coverage. If you're on Medicare, you can call even if you called last year. We will check to see if there is a Part C plan available in your area with additional benefits. You don't get a plan with additional benefits automatically. If you're losing coverage, moving, or new to Medicare, call to speak with a licensed insurance agent. Remember, you don't get Medicare Part C benefits automatically. Call now for your free 2022 no-obligation Medicare benefits review. Call 800-413-8094. 800-413-8094.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Well, believe it or not, we are just days away from the season opener for Maine women's hockey. And the crazy thing about that, their head coach just arrived in Orono at the beginning of September, and now they're gearing up for a nationally ranked opponent to start the year.
One of our words this year is adaptability, and I think our team has done a really good job
adapting to the new coaches, the new style. And I was telling everyone this summer, I was like, if you're a returner, you're not a returner this year. Everyone's a rookie. Everyone's new.
New. That's the theme of the year so far for Maine women's hockey.
We had 3 weeks with the new coach now, so it's been really fun. Of course, a lot of new coach. Like, everything is new.
Molly Engstrom touched down in Orono as the 7th head coach in program history at the beginning of the month. And now they're preparing for their first official game of the year in just a few days.
Everything's been really fast. I think I was here in 15 days from the time that I took the job. So when you have 28 players, just trying to get names down, trying to get tendencies down, learn about each other in a very short period of time.
The Black Bears are coming off of a season where they made a run to the semifinals again. And with a group of key players coming back, they think this year is their window to go further.
And I think we're going to give some teams a run for their money. I think like Northeastern, we've been getting closer and closer each year to them. I think the gaps between a lot of teams have closed. I think this year is the most even all of the teams have been within each other.
My 3 years, we've been getting to semifinal and then it ended there, so I know at least my class, and we're really excited to get that next step.
Maine got their first look at the newness this Saturday, hosting New Brunswick in an exhibition game and coming out on top 3-2. But they have a much bigger test this weekend, opening their season at home against nationally ranked Quinnipiac, who starts their season as the 8th best team in the country.
It was nice to play the exhibition against a Canadian team. It's going to be a very different look this weekend. They've got a lot of size and they have a lot of speed, so we're going to try to figure out how to manage that.
In these early games, though, they're just looking for growth before they get into mid-season form.
We want to play fast. We want to be gritty. We want to be aggressive. And we want to make a name for ourselves. You know, when you watch our games, I want it to be like, that's how hockey's supposed to be played.
Certainly a good goal there. Looking forward to watching Molly and the Black Bears on Friday as they host Quinnipiac at the Alphon. That is a big home opener for Maine women's hockey. Let's move on now to some baseball. Hockey season, baseball season, I guess they go together. On Tuesday, the Sea Dogs hosted their first playoff game in 8 years, losing 9-4 to Somerset. And now Portland and the Patriots will meet in Game 2 of the Divisional Championship Series Thursday night in New Jersey. And the Dogs will need a win to push this series to a third and deciding game. That one would go on Friday night. The Sea Dogs had a 3-0 lead in Game 1, only to see the Patriots score 8 big runs in the 4th inning, which really just took the air right out of Hadlock Field. But the Dogs know this series is far from over. Last week, Portland needed 2 wins at Somerset to clinch a postseason spot, and they ended up taking 4 of 6. So they know that winning 2 straight on the road can certainly be done.
Like we had talked about earlier, it's not about the stadium we're playing in. We're comfortable with our team. It's just, like I said, it's walks and errors. Who's going to do the least amount of those? So hopefully we clean that up tomorrow and get a win.
This loss doesn't mean nothing. We're going to Somerset right now. It still you have to win too, so the series is not over.
Series is certainly not over. Looking forward to see how that all matches up on Thursday night. All right, that is all the time we have for sports. Here is Conrad Sapinski with your full 5-day forecast. Conrad?
Thank you so much, Tyler. Our main weather today is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. So a cooler one outside today. Our average high is supposed to be around 69 degrees, so nowhere near that today. We only had a high in the mid-60s today. Take a look at tomorrow and then into Friday. Same thing on Thursday, mid-60s, but Friday is going to be a lot cooler. Temperatures only reaching those mid-50s before we slowly start to rise once again by Sunday, hovering close to average, but not quite. So it is a little bit of a cooler temperature trend the next week, so definitely have a long sleeve shirt or sweater handy because fall weather is here. And with that, we do have some clouds in the area right now, more increase in clouds throughout the day today, and same thing into the overnight hours because we'll have more rain associated with this low right over here in Canada right now. Doesn't look like big, but it will continue to develop as it pushes east. And once it's in our state, we'll have a good amount of rain overnight tonight into tomorrow. So get ready for a downpour of rain. We'll get a really good amount of rain all throughout the state, where locations might even come close to an inch of rain, some even over an inch. So get ready. There will be lots and lots of rain. All those droughts we had closer to the coast, most of that is going to be dissipating as inches of rain start to arrive the next couple of days. So I'd like to also mention we do have a hurricane right now in the Caribbean. So right now it is Hurricane Fiona, Category 4. So a major hurricane just hit Puerto Rico. Devastated locations there. Right now 130 miles per hour. Cat 4, so it is a major hurricane. Very dangerous hurricane at that. And why am I bringing this up? That is because it will continue to take this path north right through Bermuda. So if it does stay just to the west of Bermuda, they will still get lots of flooding and a lot of rain out there. But as it continues to push north, it will continue to weaken, but the waters are very warm. So as it pushes north closer to our coast, it will still be a hurricane. So expect a lot of waves, a lot of rip currents, and a good amount of wind by the coast. So we'll keep an eye on that. Water is very warm, especially off the coast, indicated here in the yellow, orange, and red. Those mean warmer waters. That is the fuel for the hurricane. So we'll keep an eye on that. But if you're by the coast or even off coast on a boat, be very careful the next couple of days. But with advisories, we do have a gale watch in effect Saturday till 5 p.m. and a small craft advisory until Thursday at 6 p.m. Tonight, temperatures near average in the mid-50s, mostly cloudy, and a few showers start to really move in later on overnight. And our extended forecast outlook does show thunderstorms likely most of the day tomorrow. Then we clear up by Friday and right in time by the weekend with temperatures below average in the 50s and 60s. Beth and Peter?
That weekend is still looking really nice.
Yeah, it is. Very grateful for that. Well, there is still more to come after the break. Stay with us.
At Home Kitchen, Bath, and Flooring in Dover Foxcroft are proud members of the Flooring Network here in Maine. We have our flooring installers on staff ready for you and your custom flooring project. With over 50 years of combined experience, we'll work with you from start to finish, including demo and cleanup. Backed by the Flooring Network's state-of-the-art warehouses, we have a massive inventory to provide you with the best value and fit any flooring budget you may have. So stop in, meet our flooring experts, and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
When it looks the part, but isn't the real thing, that's Fool's Golden. Jared Golden promised he'd be an independent fighter against Biden's spending, but then cast a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill that experts say will hike taxes $1 billion on those making under $50,000. Golden may think we're fools, but his recent vote shows Mainers what he's really made of. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
People with plaque psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis are rethinking the choices they make, like the splash they create, the way they exaggerate, or the surprises they initiate. Otezla, it's a choice you can make. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, you can achieve clear skin with Otezla. For psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla can cause serious allergic reactions. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
However you spend your day, spend it in style. At Label Shopper, you'll find designer brands for 30 to 70% less than department stores. With prices this low, you can grab all your favorite styles. Label Shopper, great clothes, great prices.
Tonight, Fiona's path of destruction, the aftermath, the rescues, plus where your wallet could feel the impact most with another big interest rate hike. More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast on all of television.
Welcome back, everybody. Holden police are auctioning off a special item that Bruins fans will be especially interested in, and they're doing it to support Maine veterans. Chief Chris Greeley says the proceeds will go to the Maine Veterans Project in Brewer. Greeley says they are trying to put some cash back in the organization's coffers, so to speak, after they recently bought a Holden veteran a car. They are selling the jersey on eBay to get the most bids and best possible selling price.
If you're a fan of this sort of thing, you want to add to your collection, it comes with a certificate of authenticity from the Boston Bruins, which is kind of cool. So not only are you getting something cool and adding something cool to your collection that can only increase in value, but you're helping veterans here in Maine. I mean, I think it's a win-win.
The auction is live as we speak, and it still has a few days left to go. To bid, you can go onto eBay and search for brand new Boston Bruins autographed Charlie McAvoy jersey. It sounds like a mouthful, but Chief Greeley says that search will get you right to it. That's a nice item right there.
I will say I did a preliminary search just to be sure, and that does come up. So you will find it on there. Charlie McAvoy, great rising player, too, if you don't know. So really fun to watch, and definitely a great collectible for any fan.
Signed certificate of authenticity.
Yeah,
that is a
pretty
win-win.
cool.
All righty. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Take care and have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
Read that one more time.
I think